Hi, I'm Andy LeGrand. Welcome to our program. Today, we're going to drop in on a topic that will keep us safe when we're off the ground. Some people think that working off the ground is as dangerous as walking a tightrope. These workers expect to plummet to their demise anytime they work up high. It's true that above ground level, our feeling of security may drop dramatically. In fact, without proper training, working off the ground can be deadly. But by exercising caution, we can work safely. Whether we're climbing ladders, standing on scaffolding, or working on the cables of suspension bridges. Combating the dangers of working off the ground begins with you. Don't take your safety or anyone else's lightly. You can avoid accidents by placing safety at the top of your priority list. Proper work practices are important for any job, but when you're up there, the risk of an accident is heightened, and following standard safety procedures becomes even more important. For instance, if you need to climb a ladder to get where you're going, inspect the rungs before you go up. Make sure they're in good condition. While you're climbing, practice the three-point climb. This means keeping two hands and a foot, or one hand and 2 feet in contact with the ladder at all times. Keeping your weight centered between the rails will help you maintain your balance and reduce the chance of a fall. Specialized equipment like lift buckets and cherry pickers require extra protection. Don't forget to hook up your lifeline. When you're on the move, watch your step. Be on the lookout for trip hazards. Do your part by practicing proper housekeeping. Maintain a neat work area so that no one trips on leftover tools and clutter. Pay attention to warning signs. They mark the point where you cross into fall protection territory. Signs will also tell you whether certain areas are restricted to workers wearing fall protection equipment. Don't work above the ground if you're taking medication that could make you drowsy. And never work after drinking alcohol. These things impair your reflexes and increase the chance of a dangerous fall. Once you've gotten the basics down, it's important to take a close look at your facility's fall protection plan.
If all else fails, you can read the instructions.
Fall protection plans focus on locations where falls could lead to serious injuries. The height at which protection is required depends on the type of work you do. On most work sites, protection begins at 4 feet off the ground. But in the construction industry, precautions aren't required until you're 6 feet off the ground. Workers must be protected from falling by at least one of the following: guardrails, safety nets, or personal protective equipment. A system of guardrails is one of the easiest ways to prevent falls from ledges. Rails can be set up either as temporary or permanent controls. They must rise between 39 and 45 inches above the walking surface and support a force of 200 pounds, the weight of the average worker. Safety nets are often used in areas where guardrails aren't always practical. There are essentially two kinds of nets. Personnel nets are designed with heavy-duty webbing that can catch workers, while debris nets are woven with much finer webbing to capture falling objects before they injure someone beneath them. All nets must be kept in good condition. Inspect them at least once a week and after they catch anything that might have damaged the webbing. Remove tools and other materials caught in a net as quickly as possible. You may not think you can take the time, but leaving these things in the net creates a safety hazard. Of course, we should take precautions to prevent objects from falling in the first place. Most facilities do this by installing screens and toe boards just above the level of the walking surface. Screens and toe boards block tools and materials from slipping over the edge. In elevated areas with unprotected sides and edges, personal fall arrest systems are a must. Before you make use of these in the field, you should test them out to see how they feel. A secure fit provides the most protection in the event of a fall.